Welcome back to the Hampton Road Show, everybody. We're in the kitchen today with Chef Matt Weishampel from Mike Restaurant Catering in Norfolk. He's making a very interesting dish. It is Himalayan grilled salt scallops. Is that what it is?
Himalayan grilled salt scallops.
Himalayan salt. And this is one of your featured entrees, right?
Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite to prepare, for sure. It really accentuates the simplicity of fresh ingredients that we use, and brings out the flavor, I believe, in the scallop as well, so that you get the real nice salty and sweet flavor of the scallop, and at the same time it's not being overpowered by anything else on the dish.
All right, there is our list of ingredients, and Matt, I know we're going to get to the scallops in just a few moments, but right now we're going to fix up the veggies, right? What do we have here?
The veggies, what we have, like I said, simplicity at its finest. We have some fresh leeks, fresh corn as well, and also some fresh local oyster mushrooms, and that's pretty much it. Butter, thyme, garlic, some herbs, white wine, pink pepper, and salt, and olive oil. And first thing what we're going to do is clean these leeks up, because they're the one that's what's going to take the longest. So what we'll do is trim the green spot off the leeks, and trim the little root end off, split it down lengthwise. And what you'll see inside of here, there's a bit of dirt. We don't want that. That's no bueno. We're going to get that out. So we'll trim.
How much of the leeks do you plan to use anyways? What is the best part? I mean, obviously not the dirt.
No, not the dirt. Really what you see right there on the board, you want to trim that green off, trim that root end off, and then the rest of it is all love. So
okay.
Once we have it split down halfway, we'll cut them. We're slinging food.
They went flying.
Yeah, that's all right. Take flight. They're happy vegetables. So cut them.
Now Matt has been at Bite for almost a year now. The restaurant just opened up in the last year. How are things going over at Bite?
Things are going great. We've got a great breakfast and lunch business going. We're in the first floor of the Wells Fargo building on the corner of Monticello and Charlotte. So we're right across the street from the Scope. Show nights at the Chrysler or game nights at the Scope have been great. We've gotten a great response from customers, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think our kitchen staff is, or the rest of our staff.
Does your clientele enjoy lunch as more than dinner, or is it, I mean, do you see that as lunch, breakfast, or which one do you see people coming in the most?
I like to think they enjoy all of them.
I know they do, Matt. I know.
But it seems that breakfast and lunch, since we've been open for a while, seems to be up and running pretty strong. And again, that's because we're in the building, or the bottom of a bank building.
Right.
So a lot of them come down, they get their quick fix for lunch and run back upstairs and start grinding it back out.
All right, I'm here to tell you that this segment flies by, Matt. We're almost out of it here, so if you can do some cooking.
So we're going to rinse these. Okay. We'll take them over to the sink.
Over here.
We'll rinse those, and we'll get back to them in just a minute. And while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and slow melt a bit of butter, which is where those leeks are going to eventually go.
Right.
So we'll sweat those leeks down in that. While that's melting, we'll cut the corn off the cob, and we'll keep it moving.
You know, you mentioned that the leeks and the oyster mushrooms are local. I know that's really important to you guys to buy local.
Absolutely. Buy fresh, buy local all the time, as much as possible. Regional if you can't get it local, and that just really, it helps to keep local farmers in business. It helps us because they have the best ingredients.
Okay, you're gonna add the leeks and the corn and the mushrooms. Are you gonna cook them all together?
No, well, we're gonna cook the mushrooms a bit separate because they're gonna be steered. It's a little bit of a different cooking technique that's gonna go with that, and so they'll be done a little bit different. This one's a little bit low and slow, food of love kind of thing.
Like that.
Also, if you notice, I cut the butter into small chunks as well, so that it melts evenly and that the heat doesn't start to burn some of the other butter solids while it's in the pan.
Okay, we're going to have to put a little wrap on this right now. We're going to come back in a few minutes. We're going to cook the scallops, and we're going to show you how this is all wrapped up into one. Matt Weishampel from Bite. Good having you in there this morning. Good to be here. We are back in the the kitchen with Chef Matt Weishampel from Bite Restaurant and Catering in Norfolk. He's making a very interesting dish, Himalayan salt-grilled scallops. When we left you, we were doing the leeks and the corn. Show us how that turned out, and then let's get to the scallops, Matt.
That's right. The leeks, pretty much what this is where it's looking at right now. What I did was we rinsed them out, got all that dirt out. Threw them in the pan, a good generous pinch of salt to go ahead and start drawing the moisture out, sweat them down. And then once they started sweating and they had a good, almost translucent look to them, added a little bit of white wine, brought that down, reduced it, and then added the cream. Once that started to reduce, we put the fresh corn in as well. Cut the heat down low and slow, food of love kind of thing, and that's pretty much where it's looking at right now. This was about a cup of cream, so much, and now it's pretty much into it.
All right, Matt says that this takes it's like a 3-hour process in the restaurant on a daily basis, but he made it go quick, and now it's time to get to the scallops.
That's right, the scallops, the love of the dish. What I've got pretty much here is the scallops. I put a little bit of olive oil on it, put some cracked pink peppercorns on it as well. Now, because we're grilling it on the salt block, we don't want to salt the scallops. Typically, as Cardinal said, not to salt the scallop before you sear it, in my opinion. I mean, salt, people I think neglect a lot of times in the kitchen. Proper seasoning, proper food, it's all good then. So, all right, olive oil, pink peppercorn, I'll set them right onto the salt block.
You know, the salt block, I just thought it was like a cutting board or something, and I reached out and touched it, and of course burned myself.
Yeah, it gets
just showing that I know nothing in the kitchen.
It gets pretty hot. These salt blocks can get, they can withstand quite a bit of heat, plus 500 degrees, So, of course, we try not to get it that hot. If it explodes, I don't want shrapnel, salty shrapnel.
Wait, whoa. What do you mean explode?
I got surprises.
I'll tell you that. He brought surprises. Well, listen, while these cook, let's talk about Bite. And if you're a big fan of trying a new restaurant, I think Matt would say you might want to come on Wednesday night. Tell him why.
You want to actually come on Thursday night. We started cut back a little bit, summer hours. That's all right.
I thought you had a wine tasting on Wednesday.
On Thursday, we moved that to Thursday night. Thursday night is our wine nights, and we have a great selection of wine, real progressive selection, and you can get half off whole bottle or half off bottles of wine that are sold by the glass.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, what makes sense is that you go on Wednesday, try it out, and see if it's any better on Thursday. Right, Matt?
I hope it's better on Thursday.
Okay. You're gonna cook some mushrooms as well?
That's right. We're gonna cut this up high.
Okay. Let's switch.
While these are going, hit the pan with a little bit of oil.
Remember, I warned you, this goes really quick, and he's used to cooking quick.
That's right.
So
step back a little bit. What we're going to do is throw...
stand back, everybody. I'm not sure why.
Clove of garlic. That's one.
We got fireworks here in the kitchen.
Throw a few sprigs of thyme in there. Again, hot oil. We're throwing our mushrooms in. Okay? So, I want to also keep in mind, while those are searing, I won't hit them with salt quite yet. Again, we're going to season everything as we go. We'll hit them with salt in just a second. Let them get a good sear. What will happen is when you hit it with salt, it will start to draw the moisture out.
Right.
And you're not going to get a good sear on those mushrooms like you would. Now, I break the scallops loose a little bit. Delicate. If you didn't see, I was kind of digging underneath of it. Sure. Get the sticking a little bit. People have a tendency with tongs to start cutting, squeezing, grabbing, karate chopping, and all kinds of stuff, and you pretty much end up murdering your food before you get it.
Well, you don't want to do that. Now, you said that the salt block makes a big difference in the taste.
It does. It actually transfers a bit of salt to the scallop, which is why we don't salt it beforehand. And also that bit of oil will create a sort of a protective barrier so that the salt doesn't draw out of the moisture, get into the block, and then start to come up into it. So if you have more moisture, obviously the more salt transfer you're going to have into your food.
Okay, the sea scallops will be plated in just a moment with Matt. Of course, Bite Restaurant is at 440 Monticello Avenue, 110 Norfolk. Call in at 757-486-0035. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call for reservations or find him online at enjoybite.com. Matt Weishampel, we're going to plate this in a moment, and I have a feeling it's going to be delicious because Robert over there is hungry.